10,000 years before the pyramids kissed the sun, before the clang of metal or the wheel's first turn, survival was a daily battle waged against tooth and claw, against the whim of the seasons. For the Neanderthal, the world was a larder to be scavenged, a predator to be evaded. Their lives were etched in the rhythm of the hunt, the desperate search for sustenance across a landscape unforgiving and vast. But within the keen minds of these ancient humans, a seed of change was about to sprout. Elara, the keeper of the tribe's wisdom, had noticed a pattern. The places where they discarded the seeds from their gathered grasses often sprouted new shoots, mirroring the bounty they had consumed. A fleeting thought, a spark of observation in a world consumed by immediate needs began to take root in her mind. Could the earth be more than just a giver? Could it be guided? Time, usually measured by the position of the sun and the fullness of their bellies, began to take on a new dimension. Elara tended the patch with a quiet dedication, protecting it from foraging animals, clearing away weeds. The other Neanderthals, initially dismissive, watched as the impossible unfolded, life springing forth not from the hunt but from the very earth beneath their feet, guided by Elara's hand. The first harvest was meager, but it was a revelation. The taste of the cultivated grain, though familiar, held a new significance, a promise of sustenance that didn't require the perilous hunt. Elara patiently showed them the way. How to loosen the soil with pointed sticks, how to scatter the seeds, how to protect the young plants. Old habits died hard. The thrill of the hunt was ingrained. The uncertainty of relying on something they couldn't chase felt alien. Slowly, the rhythm of their lives began to shift. The need to constantly roam lessened. They built more sturdy shelters near their fields. Their understanding of the seasons deepened, tied not just to animal migrations, but to the cycle of planting and harvest. The first tentative steps towards a settled existence were being taken, driven by the quiet miracle unfolding in their cultivated lands. The early adoption of farming brought unforeseen consequences. A more reliable food source led to slightly larger families. The need for specialized tasks began to emerge. Some focused more on tending the fields, others on crafting tools, others still on hunting to supplement their diet. The seeds of community, rooted in shared labor and a common bounty, were being sown alongside the grains in the earth. Generations passed. The knowledge of farming spread, carried by migrating groups and through interactions between different bands. Techniques improved. New crops were experimented with. The landscape began to bear the mark of their endeavors, no longer solely wild, but shaped, in part, by their needs. This early mastery over food production fostered a degree of stability that their nomadic ancestors could only have dreamt of. The world, shaped by this earlier agricultural revolution, would be a different place. The trajectory of human development, accelerated by a stable food supply and the seeds of settled life, would have taken a new course. Perhaps the invention of writing, the rise of complex societies, the very fabric of civilization as we know it, might have emerged millennia earlier, from the fertile ground tilled by the insightful hands of our Neanderthal kin. The whispers of the seed had echoed through time, changing the very destiny of humankind.